Today's the day. Don't show up just to show up, because I'm ready for all games to be played.
Laura Govan. So what is your relationship like now with Gloria?
Is this the camera? Which one am I looking at?
Yours is that one.
Okay.
There's rumors that you had sex with Shaq, and the rumor is you never had sex with Shaq, but your sister did, and that you protected her by just allowing the rumor to be thrown at you.
I will not clean up nothing until I talk to Shaunie, because she is the one who started all this. When she's ready to have a real woman-to-woman conversation, but not only are you gonna hear my answer and what the truth is, I'm gonna give you some of you too.
And listen, she created it, and
She didn't create Basketball Wives LA. Like, me and my sister brought Basketball Wives LA.
in your heart of hearts, do you believe Evelyn was sent by Shaunie to bring up the Shaq thing in order for you to be embarrassed on national television?
And it was an ambush. I get what we're doing for TV. If I've been dealing with this bullshit, this live forever. You #1 stunner. Nobody's talking about you. What we doing with the 3-letter words? You the big 3. We got NBA, we got NFL, we got MLB, we got R&B, we got LMB, that's the Latin, we got the HOV. You might as well get in your CAR and drive away. Like, what are we doing? Play fair.
What is the status of your relationship with your ex-husband, Gilbert?
The devil is busy at work, and I fight it every day. Let's talk about who you really are, since you want to talk so much.
We tape the next 15. We literally follow you having to move out of the house.
You know what's so crazy about that day? We slept in the car for 2 days.
You never told me that. What?
I did everything but prostitution to keep them kids where they are today. And I was on my way. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like, well, if I'm gonna sleep with somebody, you gonna have to pay me.
Since we're clearing things up, there's this rumor. Gilbert said on his podcast, leave. He was with Nick Young, talked about what Draya was doing in the backseat and all that stuff. You have to say to that about you, Draya, and the Gilbert thing.
Draya was brought on Basketball Wives. And guess what? I liked her. No idea that she was there being Gilbert's jump off. I had no idea. It was when I was going through some papers at the house, and I saw that he had given her $25,000 and brought her to LA. Let me tell you what I did.
Will you be featured on the upcoming season of Basketball Wives?
So here's what I would say about that.
Hey Raindrops, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. It helps build the channel and build our community. I love it when you guys comment and post. So remember, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel.
No, wait. In real life, I want to go in today. I'm going in today. Today's the day. Anything you want to know, you better ask me. Let me tell you something about me. You know me. I do my homework, though.
Yeah.
I don't show up just to show up, because I'm ready for all games to be played, because I play fair. You come for me, I'm going to come for you. I play fair. But if you don't come for me,
Yeah, don't start now, won't be none.
I'm from Oakland. Shit is easy where we come from. We don't have a problem till we got a problem. Like, these bitches got me f***ed up.
Are we rolling?
Here?
Okay, because I could talk to you all day.
Yes,
and
baby, let's go.
Raindrops, we are here with my friend. Okay, she's a friend of mine for over a decade. I love her. We were just talking earlier. Seriously, she's aging backwards. Aging backwards. She looks 20 years younger. She's always been a baddie. She has a potty mouth, but if you know her, her heart is pure gold. Give it up for the beautiful legend of reality television. She outdresses any girl on television. Facts. Laura Govan. How are you, baby?
I'm so good.
So good. Okay, no shade. What's the secret? Is it alkaline water? Is it what is it? You look amazing.
So it's for sure good. That's top, right? And then after it's creams, right? And then
what
we'll
type
go
of cream?
With creams. Say less.
Ah!
Listen, coconut oil always does the trick.
Wait, coconut oil where?
From head to toe, baby.
Really?
On me and him.
Oh.
Yes. Coconut oil. We just be slipping and sliding.
Oh.
It's good. Life is good.
I have not seen you this happy ever. Because when I met you, you was going through a divorce and the custody battle, separation, all that stuff. So this is the first time, and this is real tea. This is the first time in our friendship that I see you glowing.
Oh, thanks, babe. I didn't glow before.
Listen, you.
No, I get it.
You're naturally gorgeous, but.
Oh, thank you.
I'm being very honest with you. It was like this cloud. I mean, listen, you were going through something so horrific in your relationship that any woman would have a hint of darkness hovering over them.
Yeah, what's so crazy too? In all of my TV life, I have always been authentic and myself. The biggest problem I've always had is that I can't fake that. Like, I gave you what I was at the time. If I wasn't happy, you saw I wasn't happy. If I was miserable, I gave you, because it's hard. I'm from Oakland. I can't fake it. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. Like, bro, nah, we going in today. Today is the day that she gonna get it. Whoever. And it was based off of, and I didn't have any control. I was really immature. I was just for the moment. And however you got it is, I accepted it, and I was good with that.
But let's talk about this, because you are from Oakland. You're Afro-Latina, correct? Your father's Black. Your mother's Latin.
Yes.
Okay. You have how many siblings?
So there's 9 of us. I have 5 brothers and 4 sisters. And all from the same parents. So, yeah. So my parents have been married for 51 years. And together forever, right? And growing up, I don't know. It was something about, I just didn't really like my sisters. I always rocked with my brothers because they like hooped. You know what I'm saying? They always talk shit. Nobody took nothing personal. So like, it was that type of attitude. I learned how to fight, like really learned how to fight. I'm not into the pulling hair and we gonna, like, no, bro. Like, we gonna square up and go toe to toe. And then afterwards, we're gonna be cool because we had to get it out. I learned from them like a male, like, you know, when you gotta be territorial and it's like who's up, who's down. But I also learned from my mom how to be domestic. I watched her come in. She cooked every day. I used to watch my dad walk in the house and he would sit down and she would go take his shoes off. And I used to be like, I'm never doing that ever. Because in my mind, I used to think like, why is she slaving for him? But then I understood it. But I can give slave mentality in another way when it comes to that. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to do you another one. I'll take care of you tonight. But I'm not taking off your shoes. Not happening, bro. Nah, not me.
So you being this girl growing up with 8 siblings, I can relate to that. My parents, before my mom passed, they were married for over 40 years. Mm-hmm. It's 10 of us, 7 boys and 3 girls, okay? And I know, and I'm the middle. I'm number 5 out of 10.
Okay.
So I know coming from a big family, I'm right in the middle, right? Mm-hmm. So I know coming from a big family, you always try to find your identity. Mm-hmm. What was your identity having 3 sisters and 5 brothers?
So for me, honestly, I'm third to the last. So I was the 7th baby. I took care of my younger brother and sister, like Lonnie and Gloria. I took care of. They had really nobody, kind of. I shouldn't say that, but they had all of us, but they were just coddled up under me. I just took them up, but I'm so mothering, and I knew, even at a young age, I was put on this planet to be a mom. I knew it then. I used to have weekend school with them. I took care of them. I taught them how to read, write, you know, so it was that type of thing. But not only because my parents were working, busy. My dad owned jazz venues. My mom was, and they were both in education. My dad did jazz venue at night, but in the day, he was an educator. He was a principal and a counselor at Oakland High School, where I went. And then my mom was at a bilingual school. And so she was there, and then they would work together at night. So I would take care of my brother and sister. I'd just make sure that they were bathed, showered, everything was taken care of, hair combed, clothed. I mean, I got arrested the first time at 13 years old because I had stole from Ross. And I remember my sister wanting a Little Mermaid birthday party. And so I stole everything Little Mermaid. And I almost got away until the end.
What happened?
I got busted. The chick was like, because I was walking out, and as soon as I hit the door, because I got nervous, I hit the door at Ross, and the shit fell out my jacket. But I was holding it hella tight, and I had it scooped, and the shit came out. And I remember, and it was crazy because the officer ended up taking me home because I had caught the BART all the way to, it's called Bayfair Mall. I had taken the BART, and anyway, long story, and they took me home. And my dad was like, nah, she needs to sit in that car for a little bit. I need her to never be in this position again. And I wasn't.
Wow.
But everything I did was for my brother and sister.
Yeah.
I would remember going to Lucky's in the Bay Area, and that was our grocery store. And I would go in with an empty backpack, and I would leave with a full backpack just to take care of them.
So what is your relationship like now with Gloria? Because we saw you two on the show.
Yeah.
And, there did appear to be some sort of listen, sisters go through this stuff. We see that with the Kardashians.
Yeah,
but what is your relationship like now with her? Because what we did see was like a little bit of friction.
Our relationship now is we're sisters. That's it. Listen, our kids are beautiful together. I would never in a million years take our children away from each other. They grown up together. They love each other. I love them. She has a beautiful family. Great kids. They're amazing. And they're my kids' best friends. So it's beautiful to watch. It's cousins. That's something that I knew that regardless of her and our relationship, I would never take that away. And so I make sure that it's sustained and it's nurtured, and I do a good job with that. So as an auntie. And as far as she and I mean, we've always just coexisted, if we keeping it a buck.
Even as little girls?
No.
Because you...
No.
Okay.
No. So when... So what really happened is a family matter happened, and it was a nasty one. And it was something that, for me, I could say with her, I'm in a good space today than I was before. Because what we had went through is just not okay.
And what year did this family matter happen?
It happened early. It happened, when I say early, I mean, I think I was 20. And I just turned 45.
So 25 years ago this happened.
So 25 years ago.
And
maybe even sooner. Maybe when 25 years ago.
And ever since then, things have never been the same.
Never.
And it won't ever be the same.
No. Mm-mm.
Really?
Yeah, no. I will always be her sister, and I will always love her as a sister. Like, let me tell you, you're not going to come in here and talk shit about my sister and try to fight my sister. It's still going to go all the way down. But when we're in a room, we're good. Like, we don't have no beef. There's no friction. We'll laugh when you see us. We actually are working on a spinoff from a show, and we'll see what happens. But I want to keep it 1,000. Like, the older I get, the worse my brain to my mouth comes. Like, whatever, I just say what the fuck I want.
You've always been that woman, though.
Now imagine it's gotten worse.
So I want to tell a story because when we were doing the Next 15, even prior to that, I've always been obsessed with you.
Oh, thanks.
And I remember telling you, like, there is something about your family. I'm obsessed. It's giving me Kardashian. One of your brothers, who I was able to meet, is like,
he's gorgeous.
Y'all think she's gorgeous?
No, he's so hot.
Her brother is like,
he's so cute.
Gorgeous.
Yes.
You know?
I've seen bitches walking the walls for him. I'd be like, damn.
Yeah, but let's be clear. Your mom and dad are fine still.
They are.
No, your father's
My
like.
dad is so. Girls still be trying to get with him. Yo, he's so crazy. Don't even.
No, it's gorgeous.
And my mom, yeah.
And your mom is beautiful.
You.
No, your whole family's like stunningly gorgeous.
Thank you.
So long story short, I'm telling my friend Laura, I'm like, I'm obsessed with the Govans. I want to do something. Long story short, you probably don't remember this, or maybe you do. I said, I want to do something with you guys. And you said, okay, let me talk to my sister. And it was a meeting with me, you, and Gloria at the Lowe's Hotel in Hollywood.
Oh, shit.
And we're in the lobby. And you've always been a straight shooter. You are a businesswoman. You are about, like, I don't care what's happening personally. If it's about business, you show up.
Mm-hmm.
Long story short, y'all both showed up. And obviously, I'm a fan of Gloria and everything she has going on in her life that we saw on the show. But in that meeting, I remember thinking to myself, oh, this dynamic's interesting. And I was shocked how quiet Gloria was. I was shocked. And I think even you were like,
say something.
We're in a meeting with a producer. What's happening here?
Yeah.
So you talk about being this mama bear. You had that presence even still. So as you two are working on this spinoff, is it easier or is it just business?
I would say it's not I wouldn't use the word easier. I would use the word mature.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very much more mature, but there's still, when it's a sibling, you still get these butterflies in your stomach because at any moment, for me and my personality, my takeoff point, and what I mean by takeoff is when I'm about to take off on somebody, is really short. And the reason why it is because we all know what the issue is. So I immediately get defensive. And then my defense is quiet. And you don't want me quiet. Because and then it escalates. And then it goes into a space where it's just not healthy for nobody. And it's not just to say that I'm like this tornado who comes in, but let's really talk about some shit if we're gonna talk. Mm-hmm. I don't want to, I find that we bullshit and talk a lot. But why don't we just address this and knock it out? I think in family, a lot of people let shit linger and sweep that shit under the rug. So every time you're in a family reunion, but then it's just not comfortable. It's not a good space to be in. And guess what? We're fucking older now. I got some shit I want to tell you, bitch.
Yes.
You're a fucked up person on so many levels. And guess what? It's okay now because I don't want you today. That's why it makes it okay. But it also is that, and I told her, I said, I always wanted to get to a space where my parents are alive. My dad is 83, my mom is 73. I'm at a space that I don't know, God forbid, if they passed away. Oh my God, I can't even say that without crying. Mm-hmm. That I would speak to her. I think I speak to her because they're alive. Mm. And that breaks my heart because I have 2 daughters. And I couldn't fathom nor imagine something like that. And here's the other thing. I don't like it when, if you're wrong, just say sorry. Those words could have cleared up years. Years. But since you want to walk around, because it becomes a narcissistic thing where you now, because you don't want to take any accountability, you put the blame and then you act like it's all okay. Well, guess what? It's not, bitch. It's not okay. So there we are.
I would like for you to clear up a rumor.
Okay, good, please.
One thing about you are very protective of people you love.
Yes.
And sometimes it's at the expense of your own reputation.
Facts.
There's rumors that there's an athlete that you were accused of being with.
Shaquille.
Okay.
Let's just come on.
Let's call out. Okay.
Yeah, we here.
There's rumors that you had sex with Shaq. Mm-hmm. And the rumor is you never had sex with Shaq, but your sister did. and that you protected her by just allowing the rumor to be thrown at you.
So here's what I would say about that. Is this the camera? Which one am I looking at?
Yours is that one.
Okay. Here's what I want to say about that. I will not clean up nothing until I talk to Shaunie, because she is the one who started all this. So when she's ready to have a real woman-to-woman conversation, then I'll let that be out, whatever it is and whatever happened, and and the truth about what really happened and transpired. But not only are you going to hear my answer and what the truth is, I'm going to give you some of you too. Okay.
What do you mean by you'll give Shaunie some of her too?
Well, because she thought that me coming back on Basketball Wives was going to be like Laura's, she's ready. Like, she's ready to say sorry. And she's ready to confess. Like, this is what I feel like, because she had me ambushed. You saw it. Everybody saw it. Every time I went to sit down to eat before I went like this, they was like, so we want to just read something from, it wasn't even like Matthew's 2018. It was like from her narrating some shit. Well, bitch, I'll show you. Okay, bet. So since you feel like you wanted to vomit all this shit out without hearing my side, my story, my truth, this is what you're doing? Let me tell you about you, since you want to talk about me. We're going to keep it a buck, 1,000 on 1,000. That's where I'm at.
There's rumors that you have been blocked from being on Basketball Wives for years because she did not want you on the show.
So we had DM'd each other. She actually DM'd me and said that she wanted to clear up some rumors that, Shaunie actually DM'd me and said that she wanted to clear up a rumor that she was the reason why I wasn't on Basketball Wives. But
she DM'd you when?
She DM'd me this year.
In 2024?
2024. She DM'd me this year. And my response was, I don't remember the response. I'll pull up the DM, so I'll let you see it. But I just remember being like, yeah, cool. Like, that's what's up. Like, because I see our daughters play basketball a lot together. I love her children. I see them. I say hi. I always speak. They always speak. They're always respectful. They're always really nice, never rude, never nothing. Her daughter, I love her daughter. Sometimes I hear her call me auntie, and I'm like, holy shit, you know? And I take pride in that. Nothing could happen to her babies when I'm in present. And so we would see each other, and it's never awkward for me. With anybody. I don't care. Like, I'm always going to be myself. I'm always going to sit on the floor. Like, it is what it is. And so she, I guess she felt some type of way. But yeah, she saw me at an event, and I think because, we were always just be like cordial. There was no beef. It wasn't like when she walks past me, like even to date when I see Draya, if, I had to bring that up. Anyway.
We'll clip everything tonight.
Yeah, but so when it was like, when we see each other, it was just a mutual thing. Like, bygones, bygones. I don't really care. Like, whatever. So, anyway, so when we, it's a mutual thing. And then on top of that, the respect out of it. And then when she told me that, when she DM'd me that, I was good. I was like, oh shit, okay, bet. So I started, the producers reached out. It was a whole process. But producers from before and people from before on the show always told me that the issue was her. Producers. Mm-hmm. This is not, and I know people.
Oh, yeah,
so it's not, I'm not getting secondhand bullshit. I don't even rock with
and listen, I wanna corroborate your story because obviously it's my genre in which I work. I am very much aware that in order to be on the show, and listen, she created it, and
she didn't create Basketball Wives LA. That's not true. She did not. My sister and I started the whole process, the whole entire process. We are the ones that brought the girls to begin with. I remember having breakfast at the Cheesecake Factory trying to bring on Jackie. Like, me and my sister brought Basketball Wives LA to VH1. All the interviews were taken at my house in Orinda, in the Bay. This started years ago, and she just had Basketball Wives Miami. We had started Basketball Wives LA. It was a separate entity at first. And then when we told them, because I told my sister, I was like, I'm not doing this forever because I can't be on here. Like, I was just showing up, being myself at the time, miserable and crazy. I was just like, anybody could get it. And it wasn't a good space for me to be in. So, and once I realized that part, I was like, oh, I can't do this anymore. So I pulled out. And then I'm not even sure if my sister stayed, but we were going to start our own show, blah, 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 blah. And then it just kind of never took off, and we just started living our lives. But where we are today, it is what it is. So like when I show up now and this is another rumor that I hear. So allegedly, Gilbert, she's talking to Gilbert.
Who is she?
Shaunie, all the time, allegedly. And it was said that, now, you know, I come, my shit be authentic. I'm not just coming with like bullshit, but I'm gonna say allegedly just to say it. But they're talking, and what was said was that Gilbert, and his new fiance are gonna be on the show, only if I'm to be put off.
When you came back to do Basketball Wives, were you under the impression that, okay, Shaunie DM'd me, she wants to clear the air, I can't wait for a scene between me and Shaunie?
Couldn't wait. I was like this every day. I like, okay, she walking in any minute. Where's she coming? No come? Okay, bet. Next day. Is she coming? No come? I was like, we got 2 more days of this shit. When this bitch showing up? I was like, what's happening? Where you at? No show.
So when Evelyn conveniently brought the excerpt of a book to an international cast,
come on, keep coming. I'm listening.
In your heart of hearts, do you believe Evelyn was sent by Shaunie to bring up the Shaq thing in order for you to be embarrassed on national television, or just that was their way of having it addressed?
I felt it was to be embarrassed. I felt it was to be ambushed. If you were, okay, for people who just saw it, I was living it. I was in it. And it was an ambush. And my years previous, that ambush would have been a tornado. Everybody would have got hands. To date, everybody's going to get this mouth. That's where I'm at. So when they commenced to doing their little reading at the table and shit, no problem. Keep it coming. Because what you're not going to do is get them. I'm older now. I'm much more mature. I don't do telephone. So I'm not going to tell you anything, first of all, especially you, meaning Evelyn, or anybody at that table. What really happened or how it went down. Let me take that back, because I actually told Evelyn some shit in the car because I was talking to her. And I like Evelyn. I love her daughter. I like her a lot from when I would see her. But what I didn't like is how messy she made it. You didn't have to do that. You could have been like, yo, Elle, let me holler at you real quick. Because that's where I thought we were. Regardless if you're her friend or not, you still being a messy bitch is another thing. But you being a woman and being like, yo, her coming at you like that, I don't really do. But let me give it to you how I'm going to give it to you. You know what I'm saying? Come at me like that. Not like, here it is. Here's the cookies. Eat them. Oh, yeah? Well, how about we talk about your cookies, too? Since you want to be up here talking about who I slept with, who'd you sleep with, since we're talking? But those are things that I'm going to address with her when I get back on that show. Since you don't want to do it when I see you at Whole Foods. And since you don't want to do it when I see you in Porter Ranch anymore. Since you avoided me at Whole Foods, I saw you doing this behind the clerk at the counter, moving as they moved, as I was trying to move to see you. But I had so many bags, I was actually going to come over, but I didn't, and it's okay. I think it was for the best. We'll leave it at that. So that's
Laura Govan,
I'm just saying.
Are you?
Let's keep it a buck, Carlos.
Evelyn was bobbing and weaving in aisle 5 in the produce section.
Listen.
Go ahead.
She was at, we were both, here's what's crazy. And this a real story. Tell me if it ain't, Miss Evelyn. We were both at the line checking out. She's with a person, I'm with a person. Her person is here, but she's in front.
Mm-hmm.
My person is here and I'm in back. So we're, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as I'm going like this, I could see her moving with the clerk as the clerk moved. And I was like, damn, bobblehead, say less. But I'll see you. I see you all the time, actually. But usually it's in the car and passing. But I'll see you. And you're going to see me. Mm-hmm.
The reason why you were disappointed in Evelyn is because you thought like, at least y'all had a respectful.
Yes. A mutual respect.
Yeah, a mutual respect of like.
Yeah, for sure.
Because your thing is this, and let's have a real conversation.
Let's go.
Your thing is this. You've done reality TV for over a decade. You get the game, you get the gig. You know what it is. You knew coming back, y'all gonna talk about some shit. I'm here for it.
I'm here for it.
I'm cool with it.
But let's do it civilly.
Because we have a relationship.
Yes.
I can see if I was a new bitch that no one knew.
Yes.
I don't know you from Adam.
Yes.
Read me for filth because I'm a stranger to you.
Yes.
And
yes.
for you, it was like, I know you. I love your daughter. I love you.
We may not even be best of friends or friends at all. But just out of a mutual respect.
Yeah,
I see you, and I respect. I'm like, yo, bitch, you a decade in on TV too. You done hella shows. You done hella shit. You done hella things that I know for facts. So let's just keep it a buck, right? You know what I'm saying? Respectfully. But then when you do that other dumb shit, that's not okay. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
What? Okay, so before I get to what happened afterwards, when I say to you, your response to Evelyn and the girls in regards to the Shaq rumor in question is number one, the most mature, sophisticated, but in your face read that we've seen all year. You didn't raise, the beauty of it was you didn't raise your voice. You didn't raise an eyebrow. You didn't raise a glass. And I know you very well. You were so cool, calm, collected. And this is rare, 100% of the audience was on your side. And what was interesting about that moment is if it did not go their way, obviously, but it also made people be like, oh, we don't that. Like, no, what Laura is saying is so gospel. And what was so interesting about it is that came off the dome. Like, it wasn't a rehearsed read.
Yeah, no, facts. Yeah.
Like
I didn't know none of that was going to happen. Listen, I always come in with my guard up because of where we are in the space where I'm in, right? But I didn't think I was going to get that. And I was like, come on, y'all. This what we doing? This where we at now? Okay, bet. So as I sat there and listened, and at first I was thinking, should I just tell all y'all about yourselves right now? Or should I wait? I'll wait. But I'm going to give you this, though. It's none of your business. And it's not. It's just not, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe if we were 30, give me 25, because I was still immature, right? But today, you know what else? I don't even want to know about who. I don't even care. Hold on. Not only that, I don't even care to know, even if it's my best friend. I'm like, yo, bro, you want to ask her? I'll stand right next to you if anything pop off. But for now, this is not my fight, right? Like, I'm not, and I got to see this girl, the next couple days. What are we going to talk about? So they just kept talking about the same thing. Okay, so let me help you understand minions. I don't do that. I don't go, you guys want to be Shaunie's minions? I'm not that. This is what we're not going to do. It was so bad. Even like for those 3 days, it felt like I was there for 3 months. They were, the girls, and here's the crazy part. I love Brooke. I do. I went to her daughter's funeral. We've always communicated through, and when I say I love, it's a respect thing that I love about all of them. I love Brandy. I see her cooking show. I be trying to follow her little recipes. I do, but I don't do anything in malice. My intent is not to harm you in a way of of aggression and be like that on purpose. So for you to do that to me on purpose, bet. But fight fair, play fair, because you think you read me. Wait till it's my turn to read you. But play fair and hear me out like I heard you out. Because you're going to hear everything I got to say. Because if you running around here, and I mean Evelyn being the spokesperson for Shaunie, that's what I didn't appreciate either, right? Because we had just had a conversation, and again, I get what we're doing for TV, but we talking about real life shit. This is my real life. I've been dealing with this bullshit, this life forever. So since you think it's funny and a game to you, and it's like, after I told you a lot of stuff in the car, producers got that tape, they could run it back, right? But then you want to sit here and you number one stunner. Nobody's talking about you, right? What we doing with the 3-letter words? You the big three on every level. We got NBA, we got NFL, we got MLB, we got R&B, we got LMB, that's the Latin, we got the HOV. You might as well get in your CAR and drive the fuck away. Like, what are we doing?
The HOV?
She riding HOV lane. Like, what are we doing? Nobody's talking about you. Play fair. Let's play fair. Right? Bitch, you can't name 3 people I slept with. 4 facts.
I can't either, and I know you. we you talk. I can't.
My relationships are long. They're strong. I don't know. I can say the other part. But you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I'm good. Listen, right. And when I struggle from within. I don't let people know. I just do me. People have no idea what I've been through in real life. And those who do know, pray for me. And they pray for me hard. Because I have been through a lot. Life ain't, like, I've been through depression. While being a mom, while having to wake up every single day, if I tell you my schedule to date, you would be like, what the? Like, it's still to date. I still struggle with things with my ex. Unwarranted. Completely unwarranted. Like, get over it. When do you stop talking about me to my ex? When do you stop?
What is the status of your relationship with your ex-husband, Gilbert?
So let's clear this up. We were never married.
Okay.
And before I used to let that slide because we were married by law because it was the 10-year blah, 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 because we were together for so long. But our relationship to date is the same as it was 12 years ago, 10 years ago.
Really?
Yeah. It's actually gotten worse.
Lord.
I know. That's how I feel. How you think I feel? I live this shit.
Because I was there with you while you were dealing with it. I mean, when we taped the next 15, we literally follow you having to move out of the house. Do you remember that?
I remember.
Yes.
Carlos.
First of all,
I remember.
First of all, you work a tour.
Oh, you're not gonna bring me down.
In heels, moving boxes. I'm
we
shot on an iPhone.
Yes. Oh my God, I remember.
It's worse than that?
Oh my God.
Why?
Because now he uses the children. Because now he knows how to manipulate it because he can't directly bother me, right? So he knows how much I love my children. But here's the thing he also knows is that I love my children more than I hate him. So he attacks the motherhood side of it. He's just done a lot. He's done a lot. The devil is busy at work. And I fight it every day. And it's so bad that I had to tell his new fiance, who I like, to tell him to stop talking about me.
On his podcast?
Stop talking about me on your podcast, in the shower, at church, at the picnics, at the dinners, at the movies, in the car. Just be quiet. Just leave me alone. And the one thing I have told my children is we have to get him out of our house so we don't talk about him. There's nothing to talk about. And now it's our son. Let's talk about our son, who's a mega basketball player.
Yeah.
Right? In his own right.
Right.
I want him to have his own name. I don't want him to be, yes, you'll always be the son of Gilbert Arenas. I've never been, and this is also something that I feel like play fair. Gilbert, play fair. I've always given you the title of fatherhood. I've never taken it away. Even when the judge said that you couldn't have it, I never took it away from you. I never took it away from you. Ever. I wouldn't even talk bad about you. Never. I had nothing to say. And people always to date, why don't you tell the truth? Why don't you tell them that he really doesn't work his sons out? Let's talk about who you really are since you want to talk so much. It's not fair. And it's hard. And people are like, oh my God, it must be so much easier now that they're older. No, for me, it's not. It's harder because now I have to tell the truth. Before I could mask it. I used to tell, it's funny that the kids, my daughter, she said to me, now 18, at Louisville, doing amazing. Oh my gosh, she got a full scholarship, one of the top 10 players in the country. She's phenomenal. My baby lefty. I got 2 lefties, by the way. We'll get into the rest. But she is an amazing young woman. Amazing. And I remember her telling me when she turned 18, she said, okay, now that I'm 18, you have to tell me the truth. Because I always used to tell her, I'll wait until you get older. I'll wait until you get 18, and then I'll tell you the truth. And she was like, I want to know. And we sat down, and we had a lot of cries and a lot of laughs. And I don't share just the bad, right? Because that's not real. There's some good in there. I have to give them all of it. But at one point, her words, I was confusing them because it seemed like, how could he be this person, but then you let us go with him? I had to answer to that. And my answer was always, he's your dad.
And that's your daughter asking you that.
We got to keep it 100.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, you're his daughter. And I tell all the kids, we gave you in basketball. This is my basketball language. And that's another thing. Most people don't even know I played ball. I played basketball all my life. And I'm actually good. And those who know me know, right? But, and there was 2 years I led the state of California in scoring in high school. I went and played. I played overseas. I've done a lot of basketball. I've coached on every level. Basketball coaching. I coach our daughter. But even like with our son, our oldest son, Gilbert really just came around. I have a trainer that has been with the kids for the last 5 years, who I now call my son. His name is Zach Basara, and he's always with my kids. He's with my kids right now as we speak. Mm. And he's not just like some babysitter, but they're always in the gym. And he trains them, even with Elijah. And the thing that I see that is sad for me to watch, he loves it. He loves his father. That's not the sad part. That he loves his father, but the sad part is now you love him now. That as a mom, as a mama bear, as a woman that was with you for a really long time, that bothers me. You know what's so crazy about that day that we packed and I packed up all my shit? Do you know we slept in the car for 2 days?
You never told me that. What?
We were in the car for 2 days. I did not call not one person. I could call anybody to get off.
Yeah.
A hotel, stay in somebody's house with my 4 kids. And I was like, nope. You know what I kept saying to myself? I got myself in this mess. I'm going to get me and my babies out of it. So you know what I did? I took all the little CDs. I put them in the player. They were watching Tom Hanks all night, John Candy movies, and we drove around. I had $271. He left me with, and that's what I had. And we had 4 trash bags. And that's all he would let the police, the officer, that's all he let me take.
I remember that part.
Yeah. And then he since had given me like an ultimatum. You come back, everything will be great. Bitch. I vowed that day that I would never sleep with him, go back to him, nothing. It was over. Because how can you, I knew that there was a checkout. He and I definitely had checked out because we were the fight couple, right? Like we loved to fight and then we fuck. Like it was our thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it kept us together for a really long time. But one day I just grew up, Carlos. And I looked at him and I was like, damn, you're ugly. Ugh. Not even as your face, but you're just an ugly person. I had lost all my friends. Well, they weren't my friends anyway, but I had lost trainers. All off lies.
It's because
it was a lot.
It's because the people go with the person that has the money.
Yep.
The power.
Yep. And you know what's so crazy about that too is that with that being said, they knew the struggle. They watched the struggle. And then they were in the struggle with him too. Because they realized, oh, this is the most narcissistic shit I ever. So they went through their own head trips with him. And then they saw, but because he would give $100,000, $25,000 to their foundation, to who they. So he could do it. And here I am offering friendship and realness wasn't enough. So I realized this is why I fuck with broke people.
Because they'll do anything.
They'll do anything to stay on, to figure it out. So I just don't.
Oof.
It even comes with like people with money too, but not as much. So I just don't, look, there's problems in everything, right? Every stature, every situation. But I'm just not, that part of it, I'm just leaving out.
Do you get child support today?
So here's the thing. I do. At first, he's always just giving me $7,000
a month.
A month for 4 kids, even as babies. I couldn't find a rental for less than like $5,000 back in the day. Imagine bills. Imagine this. Oh, I was paying for our daughter's private school. I was paying for our son's private school just for them to stay in it. Our 2 other kids had to go into something else, into a community school, which was fine. They flourished. I made it where it was worth their while. You gonna love this, watch. We gonna have a blast. Don't even worry about it. But the oldest, I couldn't take out of school. She had been there for so long. It was all she knew. So personality-wise, I had to figure it out. I did everything but prostitution to keep them kids where they are today. Everything but. And I was on my way. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm like, well, if I'm gonna sleep with somebody, you gonna have to pay me. This is where we at. This is where it's at. But I didn't date for a long time.
Because of that.
Because I had to dive in. I had to figure it out. I had to dive in. I remember that I was like, I remember my friend telling me that they made a certain amount at Nordstrom's and Neiman's selling shoes. I was like, I could do that. And I'm a Mexican and a Nigerian. I could work. Let's go. Where we at? I've worked all my life. Bring it on. So I found the things that worked. But then it's like, here I am having motherhood. And then I got this over here he was suing me and taking me to court. And let me clear up the court.
Please.
Because he's always saying how, she takes me to court. She lost. That is not how that works, right? That's not how our situation worked. Here's how that would work. We would go so long in the court. This man would take out tapes and be like, look, you were sleeping with, sit down, clown. We would have to carry it the next day or whatever day it was that they gave us. So we were in court a lot solely because our time ran out in the courtroom of the day that we had scheduled. So it wasn't like we were just going. No, we were, but it was only because you talk so much. Like, be quiet. And state facts. Just state facts. And then on top of that, here's my thing with child support. I've never been a girl who buys bags. I get my clothes for free.
You do?
I get a lot of my clothes
Because
for free.
the impression is this. Let's
Okay,
talk.
here we go. Yeah, go.
You're obviously a 10 out of a 10.
Oh, thanks, God.
Your outfits are a 20 out of a 10.
Thank you,
So
babe.
people assume like, okay, she got the money and all that.
No.
So how are you able to afford like your look and everything else?
So a lot of people gift me things because they want me to wear their clothes. Even with bags, those were gifted. So I don't care about clothes. I don't care about things. That's not my thing, right? But like, I wear a trash bag. You ain't gotta know where this shit's from. I've
You
shopped
look
at
good
the
in
Goodwill.
everything. Yeah.
No, let me tell you something. I wear old shit, new shit. I don't care. I'll make that shit. What you wear is not about what's on. It's how you present it, right? You don't even know what's going on with this hair. The shit look good though. Am I lying, right? But I ain't turning the quarter that way or a quarter this way. Here. But you know what I'm saying? Like, what we
you make
doing?
it work.
Right. But that's my point. So it's not about, your clothes, you're this. No, bro. I just make shit work. And I do it for the sake of the kids. Always go back to my kids. I was gonna sell all that shit. My jewelry, Rolexes, everything. I was saving all that shit for the kids that was gifted to me. I'm not going out buying that shit. I don't shop trendy anyway. I don't believe in that. I never have. I'm not showing up with the trendy bag of Louis Vuitton, Gucci, all that. Give me something that's worth, if I could sell it, I can get my money back.
You're not a label girl.
Yeah, I'm just not.
You've never been a label
I've
girl.
never been. I'm not Gucci down to the socks.
You've never
that shit gives
been
me a
that
headache.
way.
Yeah, I would never, right? So that is why when people see me in like, let me tell you today, baby. Let me tell you. Today, my boyfriend pays for our daughter to go to private school. My boyfriend paid for my daughter to get a car. He bought her a brand new car, a Tesla. It's nice as He furnished her entire apartment. He pays for training today. And that is why for a long time I got off Instagram. Because I was like, you know what's so crazy is that I took this really pretty picture and I made it look good. I took the makeup off, the hair that I had in my head and them clothes off because I couldn't wait to be normal. I couldn't wait. I just do it for what it is, right? So I realized that I don't want to play this game anymore. I'm exhausted. And trying to look pretty for who? I'm looking good for this house. And these kids be like, take that off. And my son be like, bro, what are you doing? Why you take them old ugly lashes off? Them ain't even yours. My kids call me out so fast. So I say that to say this. I do it for a moment. Yeah, it feels good. It feels good to be cute, right? But I really like not combing my hair for 2 days. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Although I do shower, but I really like not getting.
Can I ask you, because when did things get bad with your ex? Because the thing is this, obviously you guys fell in love and I'm sure things were great, but like when did things get bad to the point where it's been like this for a decade? Like do you remember them, like did something happen to where it's like that is the reason why things are horrible even today?
So my story, I'm sure obviously will never match his, right? Because he has his own feelings and I honor those. I don't, whatever you feel like we lived, okay, because I can't give you what I have, right? And what I remember and what I know. I was miserable. I had everything, Carlos. I had my closet was phenomenal. I had beautiful bags. I had jewelry. I had a house on my finger. I had everything. I had cars. I can go get whatever. And I had nothing. I was so depressed. I was such a happy, sad person. And it just wasn't okay. Because I couldn't continue to live this life, like this life or the lie. I was in a rat race of trying to be in the social life. Like I was trying to be a mom and I quit. I was like, none of this shit matters. The only thing that matters are my babies. That's it. And even then I still felt like I was failing. So it took me to a place of, I call it quiet time. I can't be in quiet time anymore. So I would talk myself out of quiet time. Quiet time for me is a depression state. And it took away from me, because I cook for my kids every day, but it took away from me cooking. It took away from me being out with them. We're outdoorsy. My kids never even had a TV until maybe this year. Never. They didn't have TVs in their room. We had 2 TVs in all our houses, in all our homes. And when I say all our homes, because I was moving every year, because I had to be I was in a rental every year, and I couldn't get nothing. My credit was so up. My life was in shambles. I was renting from friends who had properties that they could just loan me, like rent out to me, with my babies. I remember there were times when I had to figure out if I had to get, I was like, bro, okay, if I got $100, I'm gonna do 50 on food for what we gonna eat for like 2 days, and I'm gonna do 50 on gas. This is real life shit. I remember going to court on an emergency hearing, and the judge, this little white lady, and she said to him, "You're a bad man." And I thought to myself, I'm never gonna win. My kids are never gonna win. And I'm not gonna allow the state and people who are up there judging me, because they're just sitting there judging, looking at us like these two, they're thinking that, oh, she's just getting money somehow. I'm like, bro, I'm trying to feed my kids. This is my real life. So while you up there, you get to go home to your pretty little home. I'm trying to figure out where we're gonna sleep tonight. That was real shit for me. And so those are the things that bother me when he still comes for me to date. Leave me alone. And that's why I thought, okay, if I don't say anything, if I just stay quiet, because I don't say anything.
You don't.
He'll go away. He ain't going away. God damn. Aren't you tired? When do you run out of things to say? I'm like, damn, how many times are you gonna talk about the same shit? And then just recently you make fun of having to pay me from the $7,000 the day our daughter turned 18. Let's talk about real life shit. Let's talk about the fact that not only did you do that, you bumped it to $6,000 and immediate was doing shit immediately. And then makes fun, buys them all these lavish things, right? But things that aren't needed for them. They don't need chains. My son had a chain with diamonds in it. What we doing? How about you pay for his school? How about that? How about you not buy them a go-kart? How about you buy them shoes? It's not fair. Play fair. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's really about the children. He keeps talking about NIL and, oh, all she wants is NIL deals for our son. No, baby. I did one NIL, a multi-million-dollar deal NIL. You're giving him infomercials with free water for free because it only benefits you. That don't benefit my son. I'm trying to make sure he's good for the rest of his life, right? I gave birth to him. I gave him the nuts he has, right? I gave him the face he has. We gave him the DNA. Like I always tell him, I can't give you the heart. You got to do everything else on your own. But I'm going to show you the way. I'm going to teach you, right? I educate them on finances. I've learned so much in the last few years about finance. I teach them about real life. We have real life conversations because I want a good family. I want a good structure. I want a good home. And I want them to be able to come home without malice, feeling some type of way. Do you know what my kids have to do? They damn near live 2 different lives. But they barely see him. And when they do, I get the whole daddy, that's my dad. Like, so I never take it away. Play fair. Play fair. I have not done that much to you that you just keep going. And since you want to keep talking about him too, you want to keep talking about the Shaquille shit, you turn around, you tell all these people that he meets people in other countries telling them that I slept with their husbands. Let's clean up the Tamar rumor. Let's go there. That I slept with Vince. What we doing? You meet up with her.
How that all came about?
That's how that all happened. First of all, I don't even know him like that. I was at the montage. I guess apparently he was at the montage. I showed him. Okay. So if we're going to talk about some shit, let's really talk about some shit, right? So since you want to talk to Shaunie about Shaquille and all this and that, it's kind of interesting because as soon as that stuff happened, I remember you coming home, racing home to have sex with me. and tell me how much you love me, and you didn't even believe that. Because you knew the truth. But since you want to be so childish like the rest and jump on bandwagons. But do you know how many bandwagons I could jump on? You know how many people I could talk to and tell a real story about real life, who you were and the things you did to me? But I just don't. Because guess what? I want to get over this. This is not it. Like, bruh, I do not want to talk about you. And I don't.
No, you really don't. Even on the show, you never really did. And since we're clearing things up, there's this rumor that Draya slept with your ex, with Gilbert.
Mm-hmm.
And Gilbert said on his podcast, I believe he was with Nick Young.
Mm-hmm. He told me that story.
Did you see that story where he pretty much talked about what Draya was doing in the backseat and all that stuff? What do you have to say to that about you, Draya, and the Gilbert thing?
So here's what I would say about that. Let me clean that up, because people were like, oh my God, Laura's just a bully, even 10 years ago. Like, oh, she's a bully, she's bullying her. So Gilbert told me that story about Draya. He had a lot to say, and I remember in the context, I think we had broken up, and he was like, well, this is what I did, right? Like, I messed with this girl from Philly, and it was this, and that. She only in the car, and blah, blah, blah. What am I supposed to say to that? Besides, I'm young. I'm like, we're young, you know. I'm like, okay, what do you want? We weren't together. What do you want me to say? But I'm not going to tell you what I was doing, but okay. That's what we're doing, okay. And so at the time, they brought her on Basketball Wives. Draya was brought on Basketball Wives as a friend, if I'm not mistaken, to my sister. I remember that was it. And guess what? I liked her because I was like, oh, shit. I like this chick. Like, she's hella cool. She's funny. I had no idea that she was there being Gilbert's jump off. I had no idea. So then when I found out, it was when I was going through some papers at the house, and I saw that he had given her $25,000 and brought her to L.A. Let me tell you what I did. Miss Laura Govan, the bad girl, at the time, rightfully so. You tell me if you think I love you, but let me tell you.
I was going to say, you don't care anyway.
I don't care. I remember finding the paper. I remember calling my friend and telling her to pick up the kids for me because she was on the emergency. I remember that. And I remember going to where she was filming here in Hollywood down the street. I remember showing up, and I was not supposed to be filming. And I walked past everybody, and I beat her, and it did not air. They did not want that to air.
You beat up Draya?
I beat Draya. I think I picked her by her collarbone and threw her, and then I spit on her, and I was trying to get to her even after that. Am I proud of those things? Absolutely not. But what you're not gonna do is be my friend. Don't be in my face. And from what I heard, you was the time. So I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? You help me help you. Where are we supposed to go with this? Because everything at the time, I told you, anybody could get it. I never have a problem till we have a problem. We got a problem. And you're in my face though. And I was her friend. I'm like, she used to do my quotes on my Instagram and tweets. She used to be like, no, take that off, do this. I liked her. So you do me like this?
So wait.
I'm going to do you like that.
So you're saying while Draya and you were on the show together and y'all were developing this friendship and she's in your face, y'all cool as shit, all the while she is sleeping with your man.
Facts.
Knowing that that's your man.
Facts. Mm-hmm. And so what am I supposed to do with this? Besides beat you up? At the time, I didn't know how to use my words. I just knew how to use hands. You gonna get them. And I gave them. And it was not good. And I remember the producers, they all dropped their shit and was just like, yo, Laura, it took like 4 people to get me off of her. Grown-ass men. And I just showed up. I think I had on chanclas. I think I wasn't even there for the party. I came. I don't even know what my hair. I don't know. I don't even remember. I know it wasn't right.
Yeah.
I didn't even have on makeup. I didn't get. I remember I parked in the front, double parked.
And just hopped out.
Hopped out. And I didn't even ask where she was. I just went around looking for her. Because I didn't want nobody to say nothing to me. Nobody's going to stop this from what's happening. Nobody. Not even you, sir. No.
So what happened after that in terms of you and her?
They kept her away from me.
Was there ever a woman-to-woman talk where she apologized to you, admitted to it?
I saw her at Jamie Foxx's house at an event that I threw at his house. And shout out to Jamie Foxx. Jamie really, really helped me. There were 2 people. We're going to get back to the story, but there were 2 people who really, really helped me. 3 people, 4 people. Tori Hart.
I love her. She's a sweetheart.
Tori Hart. Lorna Kyle, Cedric the Entertainer's wife. She's one of my, I'm talking about my best friends to date. Marie from my spin class, she's my teacher. Voltage, she used to have prayer sessions with me. And Jamie. Now, I've known Eric, I'm calling by his government name, for a long time. I met him in Oakland. He was doing a Paramount show. He's always been in our family somehow, always close. And I remember him helping me without saying anything. And he just knew. He was like, yo, if you ever need anything, you can always throw events at my house. And at the time, I didn't understand, but one day it clicked. And I would throw events at his house. I did, the only thing we would do was like studios. So we would do screenings, movie screenings at his home. And he would let me use it, and he'd give me the check. So because I was hurting. Like with these kids, I was hurting. My daughter's school at the time was like crazy. Like it was a lot. But back to the Draya thing, she showed up at the event, and I remember her walking. She saw me walking. We were walking on the same side, and I remember her going like this all the way around. And her little friends. I saw them all just like, and they were like, oh shit. Carlos, anytime I saw her, she was gonna get it. Anytime. Grocery store, church, she was getting it. My feelings were so hurt because you were my friend. So when it looked like on the reunion we were bullying her, there was a lot that was said that wasn't aired. And I was like, why are y'all doing this? Why aren't y'all telling the truth? Basketball Wives also has their own story that they want to tell. So that's why I'm really also careful how I use my words, right? Like, TV. Like, that's another reason why even with Shaunie, when I tell my story and when I tell your story, is it going to be aired? I gotta go do the work and tell the truth? Like, what we doing? Play fair. You want to talk about my shit? Let's talk about your shit. What am I supposed to do?
So till this day, what do you think about her?
So let me tell you something I really actually like about Draya. I love her hustle. And you know what? I like that she turned around her hoism to make it work for her. She's still a hoe, but I like it. I respect it. Respectfully, I love it. Not to say that girls should go out and be a hoe. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying for her and her situation and how she still keeps it going, what I'm going to do? I'm not going to stop you from doing you, but I respect it. Shit. Had I knew the shit she done, even with her having a baby with a baby, right? Listen, it takes 2. Although regardless of what he knows and what he's doing, although she knows what she got and what she's doing, none of my business. That's a conversation you have with him, not with the world. Right? None of my business. So again, do I respect that? No, I'm a mom. So if I see my son 40-year-old and having a baby with her and then having to take care of her, that's not going to sit well with me. But here's my other thing, and I've discussed this with my children. You have plan B at the store, and I have plan C at home.
What's plan C at home?
Don't worry about it. None of your business, Carlos.
It just hit me because earlier you said, thank God for my son's girlfriend. I like her.
And I do like her.
No. I'm saying to you, I now get it because unfortunately, you could have somebody in their 40s try to date your son.
I've had somebody in their 30s try to date my 17-year-old son.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not even kidding you. I've seen grown men and grown women do some weirdo shit. Some weird shit, bro. But let me say this, though. Here's the thing. In her defense, as you get older, and we're older, right? Even if you're 20-year-old, that shit kind of, I would assume it'll make you feel good. I don't plan on it. And so I just feel like it gives you an ego. Like, oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? I still got it.
I still got it.
And she do. I remember when she got her body done. I got my body done. I remember. I tell people all the time, and I talk about it. I've done nothing to my face, and I say yet because I know at some point, I hear you.
Don't touch.
No,
listen. No. I'm your friend. Look. No.
It's just the. Okay,
no.
okay.
Look, please, please.
I won't.
Listen.
I won't.
Your face card is American Express Platinum Edition.
Shut up, bitch. You gonna say it, they're gonna be like, this lying.
No.
You lying.
Whether or not I translate on TV, listen, I'm telling you.
No, in person, I'm really pretty, right?
Your face. So, true story. Listen, this is so doesn't matter. I was meeting her outside to bring her in, and I'm in the middle of Hollywood Boulevard like this. Where is she? I see this beautiful woman from a distance. I'm like, who is this beautiful? Is she Latina? Like, who is this woman? Is that Bree from Selling Sunset? Like, I kept thinking, and she said to me, "Why are you staring at me?" I'm like, Laura.
So crazy.
No, do not touch your face.
Okay, I won't. But
okay,
one day, not today, no time soon, but one day I know something's gonna happen.
Oh God!
But in the meantime,
okay,
I've had a mommy makeover. I talk about it all the time, and then people always ask me somebody asked me recently if I've done Ozempic. And I was like, I have not. But let me say this, because anytime anybody asks me about weight, I have to give them the truth, right? My truth, which is I'm a stress weight person, right? So I've always been small, always. I've always had a tiny, strong body. I don't know why I'm so strong. Legs, arms, connect, because when people hit, you got to, anyway, okay. But I'm really strong, right? So, it's when I tell people about the weight, I'm like, yo, honestly, if I don't eat for 5 days, which is just fasting, just fast. For me, I get rid of all the shit, my body, my blood, everything, right? And I do certain things, but it works for me. But what works for me is not going to work for you.
That's true.
So I can't help. It's like, so even Ozempic, first of all, I'm not doing nothing I don't know how to spell. Like, ooh, is that an O and a Z and a P? I'm not, it's just, I know some people who need it, but I haven't.
Laura.
Listen, I ain't had that conversation with them yet. Anyway, I say that to say this though, at the end of the day, what works for me doesn't work for you. So I don't preach that to people. You know what I'm saying? So anyway.
You're fine. So listen. In this new stage in your life, you have a new man. Is he an athlete?
No.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with athletes.
No.
And I just can't go back into that life. And here's the other thing. I think all athletes get bad raps too, because all are not the same. They're just not. Everybody has a problem, okay? I got 5 brothers. I seen a whole bunch of shit. Right? Just based off normal life, normal job, everybody gets their own shit. It's just that, do you want to do shit with, and I tell my daughters this, do you want to have problems with money or do you want to have problems broke? And that's not to say for the man, but that's just for them.
Because there's a difference between
There's
broke
difference
problems and rich problems.
And I teach
Choose
my
one.
daughters how to get money. The one thing that is Oakland in me is hustle. We could get down on some hustle. And that's with jobs, that's with being smart, that's with businesses, that's with being an entrepreneur. That's just with just thinking. Like, there's always money to be made. One thing I've never worried about, although I was struggling for some time because I was immature and I couldn't figure it out. I just didn't open my mind to things. And I struggled. But once I started to process that, you know, there was even a time that I thought that I would get back with him. Although I knew, I was like, in my heart of heart, I'm never going to, I still was accepting it, going to go back because I was broke with these kids. And I was like, damn, life is easier with him in it. It was easier with the rich problems. But the problems that I had with the rich guy it was too much for me as a person. It wasn't in me. Maybe if we didn't have kids, I could still sustain it. But I was getting drained and pulled. Everybody was sucking titties, the kids, him. It was just I couldn't do it. I was like, bro, it's ain't happening. So no.
Well, I'm glad you're happy.
I'm really happy.
Last question.
Yes.
Everybody wants to know this.
Yes.
Will you be featured on the upcoming season of Basketball Wives?
I think so. Regardless of what you say, I think so. Sorry.
Oh, that's a direct message.
Facts.
Laura Govan, you are still legendary.
Aww.
You have always been legendary.
Thank you, baby.
And I'm so happy you're able to let the world know the real you. And in the words of the world, welcome back, bitch.
Say less. Thank
Laura's
you,
back! And don't you go nowhere. Thank you, baby.
Oh, I love you.
Love you.